Okay, what is going on, everybody? Hello, and welcome. How's everyone doing today? It is Friday, June 21st, 2019. Ladies and gentlemen, in the United States of America, today is officially the first day of summer. And let me tell you guys something. This summer is going to be one of the most active gaming summers of all time. In the 11 years that I've been doing content for the internet, and being a content creator, doing gaming coverage. This is one of the busiest summer times I've ever seen in my life. Like, typically, when the summer starts, it's like the beginning of the dead time. Like, there's not a lot going on, and usually in July, I'm struggling to find stuff to do to entertain you guys. This is the complete and polar opposite in 2019. I don't know what happened. I don't know if there's something in the water. I really don't. But just to give you guys some ideas here, we've got an insane amount of new releases coming out in the next few weeks to month. And I don't even know, quite frankly, how I'm going to cover them all. I don't even know how I'm going to afford them all. Because it's kind of like almost a mini fall when it comes to the amount of releases that are coming out. All right? We've got so many new releases. This is awesome, obviously, because you guys love new releases. I love covering new releases. Of course, typically this summer is also the time when we do a lot of downtime stuff. And of course, some people might be like, well, what's going to happen to all of the playthroughs that you've been doing, like Phoenix Wright and Final Fantasy IX, etc. Well, we're going to talk about that. Don't worry. But the first thing I'd like to say is welcome to the summer, everybody. At least if it is summer for you, welcome, welcome. And welcome to my first stream in a 6-day string of streaming. Because it is a first day in a 6-day stream of streams for me. As you know, I usually stream, straight on for almost a full week, and then I have a day off, and that's exactly what we're doing this week. Okay? Multiple new releases this week, which is going to be great, but also balancing with ongoing content of other stuff. I hope you guys are excited. Seriously, this is going to be pretty good. A good variety of stuff. Some classics from people's childhood that they've been dying to see me play. Some new games that are just completely new releases, not just, modern remakes, but completely new releases. Me with my ongoing coverage of other games. It's going to be a good week for sure. Just in the variety that we're going to be covering. It's going to be a really solid week, and I'm excited. I hope you guys are too. Okay? So welcome back. I hope you all had a good day away. As you know, I was off from streaming yesterday. It was my day off a week that I actually get to spend with my wife and do some stuff in real life that needs to get done. And indeed, we did get some good stuff done. It was a very fun day for us. Coming back feeling refreshed here today, which is a good thing, obviously. For a first day of summer, it's not very summer-like. It's actually quite cool outside, and it's cloudy. So for us, we're getting a slow start to the summer, which is a good thing. The cooler it is, the better it is for me for streaming, because it makes my office stay cool. And I don't have to have the air conditioner, blasting, at full blast versus, if it's warm outside, oh my god, do I need it? I have to basically have it on max blast because this office heats up. So I'm actually glad that it's not super hot, although there will be some serious heat coming in the next few months. Typically it starts around mid to late July, and it goes through to late August, sometimes even early September. Our really hot summer here in Washington State, but we'll see. We'll see what happens, okay? So everybody, thank you very much for understanding with my day off yesterday, and welcome back today for a full day of streaming. What are we doing today? Well, we are kicking off summer with a new release. It's just like I just said, there's so many new releases this year during the summertime, and today's no exception. The first gameplay stream today is Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled. This is the modern-day remake of a PlayStation 1 classic, back when Crash Bandicoot ended up being a groundbreakingly popular action platformer style game for the PlayStation 1, the original PlayStation, okay? They had a bunch of spin-offs, he had 2 sequels, Crash Bandicoot 2 and 3, and then later on other games, but also a series of racing games. This was to capitalize on the incredible popularity of the Mario Kart franchise, which up to this point had always been an exclusive to the Nintendo franchise. You couldn't play Mario Kart in anything but a Nintendo system. So everybody else was like, man, we wish we had good kart racing games. So Sony said we will, Naughty Dog and Sony, I believe, said we will, jump onto that bandwagon and we're going to make a kart racing game with Crash characters. And from what I'm to understand, it ended up being one of the most popular games on the PlayStation 1. Like, people absolutely loved this game. And by the way, it should be called out that this is before the era of online multiplayer, While Mario Kart was very popular on the Nintendo systems, Crash Team Racing was the racer to own on the PlayStation 1. And a lot of people have told me over the years, man, this game is like near and dear to my heart because it's a game from my childhood that I grew up playing. And I can't wait to one day see Phil play it. Excuse me. Well, guess what? That opportunity has finally arisen. The time has come because the modern remake is out. And I'm checking it out. Now, from what I understand, this game does have a significant amount of content. Apparently, there is a story mode that some people are telling me is roughly 3 to 4 hours long. So if I just focus on the story mode, I should be able to beat it in one session. And then, of course, there's a robust multiplayer mode with many different modes and tracks and characters to try out, etc., etc. So, being that I have never played this game ever before, and I should call that out, I was not one of the people who played this game in the height of its popularity at all. That was the era, the end of the PS1 era, early PS2 era, was the era when I was just playing fighting games at a high competitive level. I was constantly traveling to play Street Fighter, alright, and while I was doing that, I really was not interested in much else. So I missed out on a ridiculous amount of console releases, this being one of them. This was that era of that generation, like 7-8 years, when I really didn't care about other console games but fighting games, okay? So, that being said, I'm very excited for the first time experiencing this game, because so many people have told me so many good things about it. Now, some people said they played it last night when it came out at midnight, and the game was incredibly buggy. The game kept crashing, and there seemed to be errors and glitches. People were trying to play online, and it wasn't working. So, FYI, for those who don't know, they patched the game this morning. I know because when I booted up my PS4, it told me this game has received a patch. Alright? So, maybe they fixed some of those issues. I don't know. I don't know, how it's going to go. I guess we're going to see. Firsthand today, guys, we're going to see, did they fix it? How solid, how stable is the game? All right. But I'm pumped. I hope you guys are pumped too. This should be a fun couple of days of doing some fun racing. And, this is going to be interesting because we're going to make a direct comparison between Crash Team Racing and Team Sonic Racing from last month. Actually, it was Sonic Team Racing, excuse me. And we're going to see what's better. Was Sonic Team Racing better? No, excuse me. Was Team Sonic Racing better, or is Crash Team Racing better? We have a direct head-to-head comparison now, because within 1 month, both games have released, okay? So let's see how it goes, all right? I'm very excited. FYI, guys, since I've never played this game before, the very first gameplay I'm going to do is the story mode. I'm figuring that's going to teach me the gameplay mechanics, and allow me to learn how to play the game. Versus if I jump right into online, obviously I'm not going to know what the hell I'm doing. I'm probably going to get destroyed. I need to at least play the game somewhat to learn everything before I try to play competitively, alright? So, yes, most of today, if not all of today's stream, more than likely is going to be offline gameplay, where I'm trying to learn the game mechanics and doing the story mode, okay? Don't worry, because it's not just a one-stream deal. I'm going to be playing this at least 2-3 streams at a minimum, so I'm definitely going to be playing all the online play and everything. It's all coming, okay? Very nice. Alright, so that's today's main gameplay stream. Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled. Very excited to see how this goes. Later tonight, we're going to do a chill stream of MLB The Show 19. Yes, I am still continuing on with that playthrough, even though it really is more of a chill stream than anything else. It doesn't really matter what happens during the gameplay. But the good news is, last week we salvaged the run. I stopped being a pinch hitter, and I got a 5-year, multi-million-dollar contract for the Pittsburgh Pirates to be a starter, which means I get a lot of gameplay, multiple at-bats a game plus fielding, which is great. And we're still in preseason, but once we get out of preseason, it should be the major season. Things will start counting. So I'm excited. I'm excited for tonight. It should be a nice chill stream, couple hours of fun gameplay where we can hang out and just interact tonight, okay? Tomorrow will be more Crash Team Racing. More than likely, I'm going to either finish up the story mode or just jump right into the multiplayer, depending on how today goes, okay? So another major stream of Crash Team Racing tomorrow. Tomorrow night, I'm going to do another stream of Mortal Kombat 11 multiplayer. I played Shang Tsung back on Tuesday when he was the new first DLC character released for the game. I actually thought he was pretty decent, but I didn't really have a ton of time to play with him. Especially online, I only played for about 2 hours. So I want to do another 2 hours of Shang Tsung Mortal Kombat 11 online play tomorrow night. Okay, so that way at least I get my money's worth for these DLC characters. Then on Sunday, I'm going to be spinning back and returning to Final Fantasy IX for a 4-hour major stream, for variety's sake. That way people don't get totally burnt out on racing, you know. And then Sunday night, it's my weekly session of Phoenix Wright Trials and Tribulations. 2 hours of Phoenix Wright coming up Sunday night as we approach the end of the game. We're actually probably 3 sessions away from the conclusion of Phoenix Wright Trials and Tribulations. So, hopefully, we will be able to finish that up either the end of this month or early next month, but I guess we'll see. Okay? So let's see how it goes. Monday is up in the air, and the reason I say that, it may be more Crash Team Racing, or it may be Final Fantasy, but I'm strongly leaning towards it's going to be a third session of Crash Team Racing. Since if people really like this game, I think people are going to want to see more of it. All right? So probably Crash Team Racing on Monday's main stream. And then Monday night is up in the air. I'm debating this week what to do because we have limited time because of new releases. So I'm almost thinking maybe Monday night I should do either a chill stream, and that would be a choice between Minecraft or Blackout. I'm not sure yet. Or I could do a mini 2-hour session of Final Fantasy IX. All right, I don't know. Now, the reason I say all that is because this week has multiple new releases. On Tuesday, the major new release that everyone's, interested in seeing me play is called Judgment. This is a new game from the makers of the Yakuza franchise. In fact, I've seen gameplay of the game, and it looks a lot like Yakuza. I'm not going to lie. In fact, the map looks the same. Most of the gameplay elements look the same. The difference is, the main focus is not some overreaching combat, but instead, I guess it's supposed to be like an investigation drama style game. I'm not 100% on what the major differences are. A lot of people said it's kind of like L.A. Noire set in Hong Kong, but I don't know if that's the case or not. I guess we're going to see for ourselves what exactly this game is when it comes out on Tuesday. But I'm excited for it, and a lot of people have been asking me for it, all right? So that starts on Tuesday. Now, apparently, I didn't even know about this. Apparently, the new Samurai Showdown game, which is a fighting game, apparently comes out this week as well. I wasn't even aware until, last minute on Wednesday. Someone told me this, and I just confirmed it this morning. Someone said, yeah, Samurai Showdown comes out this week. Okay. And I was like, what the hell? Seriously? So I just kind of shrugged, like, damn, I didn't even know that. I'm considering it. I'm considering playing it. I mean, it's a new fighting game. As you guys know, fighting games are my forte. But I had no idea. And quite frankly, there's a lot of other stuff coming out later on this week that I'm interested in, and I already had kind of on the schedule. And now I'm wondering, how would I even cover a new fighting game amidst all these other releases? Because allow me to explain, okay? So Tuesday, I'm definitely playing Judgment. I'm not sure what Tuesday night stream is going to be. It could be a chill stream. It could be more Crash. I'm not sure yet. Wednesday, again, I'm probably playing more Judgment. And again, I don't know what Wednesday night stream is going to be. I'm almost thinking this week the chill streams maybe bumped to play other new releases. Like maybe it's more Crash or whatever. Or maybe I'll do another session of Phoenix Wright in order to try to finish that game up because we're so close to the end of it. All right. So there you go. Now, Thursday is my day off for the week. But when I come back on Friday, there's 2 more new releases. There's Super Mario Maker 2, which I'm sure a lot of people are going to want to see me play now that it has a story mode campaign to play through. In fact, Super Mario Maker 1 was one of the most popular Nintendo games that I played last console generation on the Wii U. And people really enjoyed seeing me play, created stages and the like, all right? But also there's a game called The Sunken City. This is a horror/drama thriller game with an H.P. Lovecraftian, plot. And people have been wanting to see me play that since last year when it got massively delayed. It was supposed to come out in the fall, and it got massively delayed, all right? So just in this next week, you've got Judgment, then Super Mario Maker 2 and the Sunken City, and now the possibility of Samurai Showdown. You see what I mean? Like, I'm just kind of, what should I do? There's no way I could play everything. You see what I mean? I'm almost thinking, I think Samurai Showdown's going to get skipped. You know, I mean, that's a shame because I liked the classic Samurai Showdown games. I played them on the Neo Geo, cabinets back in the 90s. I played all of them, 1, 2, 3, and 4. All 4. Actually, I take that back. I played 5 as well. I played all 5 Samurai Showdown games that were released in arcades in the 90s. I remember playing them all. So it's kind of sad because I really definitely wanted to play it, but it came out, which is such... And this is what I mean. This never happens in the summer. It's never like this. We never have this many games released in such a short window of time. And all of a sudden, this summer is insane. Like, here you go. Here's 5 fucking games in a week. What? What is going on? You know, it's like the complete polar opposite of what I'm used to. So, I think this week, I'm just going to do exactly what I had originally thought, where I'm going to do Judgment, and then probably Sunken City and Mario Maker 2, and focus in on that stuff for the week, the week moving forward, and see how all of that goes, okay? And then based on how all of that goes, that will determine, what else I do. Will I eventually play Samurai Showdown or not? I have no idea, okay? I guess we'll see, all right? But it remains to be said, guys, FYI, I definitely... I'm hoping that in the next week I can get some support because I need to afford all these games, and I quite frankly don't have money for this many in a short period of time. Typically you use nothing in the summer. This summer we've got a ridiculous amount of releases, and I was not equipped for this or ready for this. So what that means is 2 things. If you guys want to donate any of those games that I just mentioned in the next week, I am totally appreciative of that. You can email me at darksidefil@hotmail.com to talk specifics, but in general, the best way to donate a game to me is a digital code, whether it's you get me the actual code to put it in on PSN and just get it, or PSN credits. You can actually buy PSN credits and you just put a code in so you can have PSN credits to buy those games. I would very much appreciate if anyone could help out with that, all right? If that's not the case, then, in the next week, tipping me is going to be very appreciated because tips are, that's funds I can use immediately. So tipping me is going to go straight to the cost of all these new releases that I need to buy in the next week, okay? So please consider it, all right? I will talk a little bit more about that in just a moment, about contributions and the like, all right? So anyway, in summary, in general, Gary, today, Crash Team Racing and MLB. Tomorrow, Crash Team Racing and Mortal Kombat. Sunday, we spin back to Final Fantasy and Phoenix Wright. Monday, Crash Team Racing, and I'm not sure what I'm going to play Monday night. We have to figure that out. Tuesday is going to be the new release Judgment, and more than likely I'm playing Judgment Tuesday and Wednesday. And then the nighttime streams, again, they're kind of up in the air because do I want to, keep playing the chill stuff, or do I want to maybe do more Crash Team Racing, Final Fantasy, or Phoenix Wright until my day off on Thursday. But then when I come back on Friday, there's 2 more new releases with Super Mario Maker 2 and the Sunken City. So we are going to be so wrapped up in new releases in the next week. It's going to be wild, okay? I guess we'll see how it goes. Whew. All right, guys. So thank you very much for listening. Sorry that was pretty much a lot to talk about there on the pre-stream. One final thing before we move on to the next segment of the pre-stream, which is the plug segment. Just a short reminder that right now, all right, you can nominate your favorite games for the Viewer's Choice event over on my forums on thekingofhate.com. What that means is that there's a Viewer's Choice event that's going to happen this summer. You guys are going to nominate and then later vote on a game, and whatever wins is going to be a playthrough that I start this summer and will, be a complete playthrough for the streams, all right? I've never done a Viewer's Choice event before. Never. So this is a first-time thing. I'm very excited to see what you guys pick for me to play. But you have to head over to the forums right now at thekingofhate.com, head over to the general section, and then there's a thread right there that's, stickied and highlighted for you to nominate games. The way it's going to work is we've got a little over 1 week left for people to nominate their favorite games, all right? And once they nominate said games, they're then going to be counted up probably in early July, and the games that have the most overall nominations are going to make it to a poll, and that poll will then be voted on by the same people, and whatever wins the poll will be a full playthrough, all right? So, pretty awesome. You need to head over and start nominating games right away. We only got a little over a week left for that process, so please do. Much appreciated, for everyone who does. And I can't wait to see what you guys come up with for a full viewer's choice playthrough this summer. Okay? Fair enough? All right, thank you. Okay, guys, let's now move on to the next segment of the stream, the gratuitous plugs. So thank you guys for 11 years that I've been able to be a content creator on the internet and absolutely enjoyed every moment of it. I love every single day sharing my gameplay experiences with all of you. And over the years, you know, my presence on the internet has completely changed. I used to be a full-time YouTuber all the way up to 2017 when YouTube's ad revenue bottom completely fell out and it was just not viable anymore to do it as a living. So instead, I switched over to being a full-time streamer here on Twitch. And not only do I think that it's one of the best choices I've ever made, but I actually feel that it made things better. Like, a lot of people who've started watching my content in the last couple of years really enjoy it compared to the old style YouTube stuff where it used to be mostly just me being isolated and not really interacting with people and kind of ignoring people in my stream chat. It's changed completely in the last 2.5 years, and that's a good thing, all right? I feel I've evolved for the times. That being said, though, because I changed from being a full-time YouTuber to a streamer, I made many different changes, including making my YouTube videos way longer than they used to be, etc. And this basically shifted my focus, but it also shifted my income. I barely make any money, and I really have to emphasize this. I barely make anything on YouTube anymore. It's really just an afterthought, and in general, the reason I still upload videos over there to DSPGaming on YouTube is because it's fan service for those who've been longtime viewers of mine and who can't show up to the live streams, okay? That being said, I primarily rely on income from stream contributions to keep things afloat. And I want to say thank you to those who have helped out in the last, 2 years that I've been doing this. You're the reason I'm still here. There are many ways that you can contribute that allow me to, keep doing this. If you love the daily live streams, the amount that I stream, the way that I stream, the variety streamer that I am, if you like the fact that I changed my YouTube to be more viewer-friendly with the long-form videos and the like, and you want to see all this continue, please contribute in one of the following methods, if at all you can. One thing I will say up front, that contributions are much appreciated, but they are not mandatory. I just enjoy loving every moment of sharing gameplay experiences with all of you. The fact that people come by and hang out with me every day is amazing. I have so much fun doing this. I really do. But just being a realist, have to make money to pay the bills to keep things afloat. All right? So here we go. Excuse me. Holy moly. So, guys, many ways you can contribute. Let's start off with Patreon at patreon.com/darksidephil, where your monthly pledges allow you to earn personal perks. There's many different perks that you can get. One of them this month in particular that the patrons are enjoying is priority nominations for this upcoming Viewer's Choice event. The patrons are going to have their own game that gets right into the final poll, kind of skips the whole group nomination process. It's going to go right into that final poll, all right? So there's many other things you could do for being a patron. I'm not going to go into them all, but please check it out at patreon.com/darksidephil. Thanks to anyone who pledges. I appreciate your support. I have a Teespring store where you can buy all kinds of fun merchandise, including t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, stickers, mugs, and the like. Anything you buy helps me out, and you get a cool collectible. You please check that out. But in particular, if you were here live on today's stream and you would like to contribute and get some interaction with me, get a shout out for that contribution, you absolutely can, all right? There's 3 different ways you can contribute, either cheering with bits, subscribing to the channel, or choking on stream. Let's try that again. Cheering with bits, subscribing to the channel, or tipping me. Those are the 3 ways you can contribute during a live stream. All right? So thank you to anyone who even considers it. If you do any of those things during today's live stream, I will give you a shout-out thank you during the stream. Now, a couple things to consider. Number one, I'm playing a racing game today. Racing games are usually very attention-intensive, meaning it's very hard for me to be racing in a competitive match and then turn away, read what you said, and turn back and not throw the match. You see what I mean? More than likely, I will be doing shout-outs in between racing matches. All right? Just throwing that out there so you understand the nature of the beast when I play an attention-intensive game like a racing game. Number 2, it is very subjective what I say and do on my own streams. There's many things I have to follow, including Twitch's own terms of service criteria, as well as the fact that I try to maintain a very chill atmosphere around here. What that means is we are not going to be stirring up drama. We're not going to be talking about politics or religion. We're not going to be bringing up insults against myself or other streamers or other chatters or anyone. No, detractor memes, no addressing negativity. What we're trying to do here is have a fun, positive stream that people can come and hang out and feel like they can, have an opportunity to see my honest reactions to a game and just have a good time. You don't want to be bombarded with all that drama shit that you get in your normal life. This is the place you escape that, right? So that being said, I will give shout outs when appropriate, but if we get people who are kind of bad apples trying to veer the stream in one way or another, and if we got people doing stuff that's just negative, I'm going to ignore it, all right? Just being honest here, okay? So that being said, all contributions are much appreciated. As you can see at the top of the stream, we have a cheering leaderboard as well as a tipping leaderboard so that the top cheerer and top tipper will get credit. And in addition to that, integrated into Twitch is a cheering leaderboard that maintains the amount of bits that people have contributed for the week. So if you want to try to get in there with the top 10 cheerers of the week, you can. In fact, I'm going to give them credit in just a moment. We're going to read through that leaderboard. All right. Now, absolutely everything is appreciated. Like I said, I'm certainly not looking a gift horse in the mouth, but being the fact that in the next couple of weeks, we've got a ridiculous amount of new game releases coming out, the best way you can support right now would be to tip. Because by tipping me, those are funds I can immediately put towards buying the new games, which I'm going to buy a ton of in the next week. So please consider tipping me, if at all you can. That's the way you can contribute the best. There's two ways you can tip me. The first is to look below the stream where there's a tips jar button you can click on. The second would be to type !tip into the stream chat, which will bring up a link that brings you to my tipping page. All right. Now, a couple things about tipping. Number one, you don't have to put out your identity. You can use an anonymous name or you can make up a name. A lot of people are afraid that if they contribute to an online streamer, someone will harass or troll them. If you use a different name, there's no way anyone can know who you are anyway, and it will prevent that. That's number one. Number two, you don't need a PayPal account to tip me. You can use a credit or debit card, much like anything else you do on the internet. That's a misconception that people think, oh, I have to register a whole account and everything. No, you don't, okay? So please consider it. I do appreciate any contributions of any type, but tipping will help the most right now because of the cost of games coming out. Fair enough? All right, let's now get the shout-outs. For those who've contributed, in fact, we got a good amount of people who contributed while I was away. So what I want to do is give a shout-out to them. We start off with anhydrous ammonia, who subscribed to the channel. Also, Golden Colts, during my day off, did quite a lot of cheering. So thank you to Golden Colts for the cheering while I was away. Dolphin Splash cheered. He says, if you're looking purely at the numbers, you basically peaked in 2011 and 2012 back on YouTube. But ignoring the numbers, do you think you and your content peaked back then, or do you believe you're peaking now as you continue to grow and evolve as a content creator? My honest thought, okay, if you're looking for absolutely zany, ridiculous, over-the-top, offensive style comedy, yeah, I topped back then. You know what I mean? You're talking 8 years ago. There was the Wild West of YouTube, and no one really cared about what you said and did. So I would do this, commentary that was offensive, and people liked it. And, in reality back then, as I said, I was an equal opportunity offender. It wasn't just me doing it for the sake of insulting people. I wasn't serious. It was all jokes. And my main viewing audience kind of understood that. All right. But over the years, I've evolved. I don't do that stuff anymore. You know what I mean? I just don't do that stuff anymore. Because I grew and I evolved into someone who basically cared about what he was doing. Back then, I really didn't. Being very honest with all of you. I always thought the whole thing was a joke. And, I'm making videos. This is so stupid. I'm just commentating over random gameplay. And I can't believe anyone likes this. But, hey, if people like it, I'll just keep doing it since, hey, it's fun to do. And since then, I kind of realized that because I was a popular person on the internet, I needed to change my ways. I needed to become more responsible as a person. I needed to grow and mature. I needed to stop saying and doing stupid shit that not only would get me in trouble, but basically was irresponsible. There's so many dumb things I said over the years back then that I was just so stupid and uneducated. And, you got to understand that when you have an influence, when you have an audience that follows you, and you say and do stupid things, that it has a big negative impact on other people. I never understood that back then, but now that I'm the butt end of that, I kind of get it. When I see other content creators and influencers insulting me who don't even know who I am and literally are completely wrong and off base with the things they say and do about me, and I'm like, damn, so this idiot has no idea what the fuck they're talking about, talking out of their asshole, but because they just said something about me, now thousands of their followers are going to come after me and insult me and attack me for weeks. My Twitter feed's going to get blown up with negativity and shit, and I got to deal with this fallout because of this idiot, right? And I'm like, damn, I used to be that idiot. You know, I used to be the guy back in the day, 8 years ago. I would just say and do stupid, controversial things just for the sake of it. And, you know, so many negative things happen as a result of that I didn't probably even realize. And that's why I changed over the years. And I definitely feel that now in the modern era, I am a much better person as well as a much better content creator because I have changed up the way I do things. And, you know, I am now interactive with all of you. I now care about what I say and do. I don't do those stupid, immature, over-the-top things I used to do for attention on YouTube. I've changed completely. And you know what? A lot of people say, oh, well, Phil's not old school Phil, and that's not, you know, oh, well, I don't like him anymore. Well, too bad. Maybe if you were looking for immature, garbage content, it's all over the internet. Trust me. That's pretty much what everyone puts out now. Because that's become the common thing. Look for drama-esque, garbage-filled, toxic content. There's a plethora of that everywhere you look. I don't do that anymore. I've completely changed from the person that I was 8-9 years ago to be someone who cares about what he does, just wants to enjoy games at face value and hang out with you guys on a daily basis, have a good time, and not care about all the bullshit. Yeah, these streams are entertaining and fun enough without all the bullshit that I used to do, right? And I like that. I like that I've changed and grown. So, if you're asking me about the quality of myself, I feel the stuff I do today is way more fun and way more positive and way more mature and way more interesting than the stuff I used to do. Because it used to be shock value, immature, potty humor, sexual humor, stuff that I did constantly back then. And now it's not like that at all. But the problem is the viewing audience has now been almost... They've been honed in and trained to look for that. That's all they care about now on the internet. All they want is that immature, drama-esque nonsense. That's what they're crave. So that's why I'm not as popular as I used to be anymore. I mean, I'm still here 11 years later, but at the same time, nowhere near as popular as I ever was on YouTube, and I never want to go back to being like that. Just being very frank with all of you. I don't want to go back to that. I like who I am now as a person. I feel that I've changed for the better. So there's your answer, Dolphin Splash. Will I ever be as popular as I once was? Absolutely not. When you're someone like me, you can't be. But you know, it is what it is. I like what I do. Fair enough? Okay. What's hilarious to this day is we still have idiots complaining about the pre-stream. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been doing pre-stream since I ever started streaming. Alright? And it's never changed. There's still people complaining. If you're still not used to it, maybe you should just fucking grow up. I'm just saying. I'm not putting up with the nonsense anymore. Just whining people in the stream chat. Okay? By the way, it's the same people. It's the same idiots who come in and complain about everything else, too. They're just here to be negative idiots, so I'm not surprised. Alright, here we go. Time to ban a bunch of idiots. I'm just going to start banning these morons. Okay? Okay. Let's continue. Genetic Gamer did a 50-bit cheer. Thank you, Genetic Gamer, for the 50-bit cheer. Polish Frog did a 50-bit cheer. He says, you said you don't have Photoshop anymore. You should check out GIMP. It's like Photoshop, free and open source. Maybe you could make thumbnails for Blackout, Minecraft, MK11, and other series in it. You have to understand, Polish Frog. Number one, I don't have any talent in those, in any kind of graphic design. And number two, I don't have time to learn it. Just being very honest here. I work my butt off on my work days. My one day off a week, I don't have any free time to do that stuff. I'm spending it with my wife. So, I don't have time. I don't have hours and hours of free time to sit in front of my PC and learn how to use a new, graphic design program. I just don't. That's why people who design thumbnails for me do so out of the kindness of their own heart. And that's why I have thumbnail series for certain games, because people are very generous and help me. And I want to say shout out to those people. I don't want to give credit if they don't want it. But shout out to those people who help me with that stuff. It's the only reason I even have thumbnails at all is because there's some generous people out there who know what they're doing. They have some talent, and they make these thumbnails for me. I don't have the time nor the means to do this. All right? So thanks for the suggestion. It's not viable. Philly Buckeye cheered 50 bits at the very beginning of this stream. So now we're getting to people who actually contributed during the stream. All right. And he says, I'm excited for the stream. Haven't been this pumped since your Spyro Trilogy playthrough. Best advice is to play the Polar Bear or Tiger to start out. I didn't even know that they were characters. So, sounds good. I guess we'll give it a look. The Tractor Beam tipped $2. He said, I hope you use the song's vibes when going fast today. I'm not exactly sure what he's talking about. He might have been talking about the Sonic song that I played during the pre-stream. Let's go ahead and get him up on the leaderboard as the first tipper of the day. Thank you very much for that. Rogondo Cerdo. Cheers. Says, happy summer, man. Can't wait to watch some chill new games. I hear ya. I'm ready too. Vote Democrat. Resubbed for 3 months in a row, but 6 months total, and said, there goes half a year of my life I'll never get back. Detractor Beat to another $2. Said, thanks for playing that Sonic song. Are you planning on streaming Super Mario Maker 2? I mean, yes. I get the feeling what's going to happen is just what happened with Super Mario Maker 1. So initially what I'm going to do with the game is play through whatever story-based campaign and mess with the tools they give you just very, very little. Then when I'm done with that, wait a couple weeks and then come back to Super Mario Maker in the middle of the summer when people have had a ton of time to do user-created content and check out some of the most rated content, highest rated content, best content that people have made in the game. Because that's actually where I got most of the attention for Super Mario Maker 1, was waiting and coming back to the game once good content was there and playing through it. I was like, wow, this is great. Some of it's like Super Meat Boy. Some of it was completely original and unique. It was pretty neat. So, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. All right, Rogondo cheered again and said, what's up, Phil? How was your day off and do anything fun? I mean, in general, we always try to do a few things that are fun when we have our day off. At the same time, I don't want to reveal too much about what we do because sadly there's people who try to get into our personal lives. And if I told you anything that we did, more like, oh my God, how much does that cost? How much time did he spend there? Well, what did he do with this? And that's how they act. They're a bunch of googly-eyed, floppy-tongued weirdos who just fucking try to get up into my shit and, ruin my life over absolutely nothing. So I'm not going to be talking about the stuff that we do during our personal time off because that's personal time off. And as I've said, I separate my personal from my business/streaming life for good reason. Trust me. The fact that Kat and I have a beautiful life away from my streams and content is a really awesome thing. Being able to draw that separation and not have constant overlap has been amazing. And I'm not going to change that anytime soon. So thanks for your question. Thank you for your contribution. And thanks for your interest. The answer is I'm not revealing that. Sausage Loves Mash tipped me $2. Says, to let you know, the story teaches you absolutely nothing, and it's longer than 6 hours because of side quest. Heads up. Well, if that is the case, fine. Then I guess we'll spend today and some of tomorrow doing the story, and then we'll go to online play tomorrow. And then probably, like I said, I'll do a third stream maybe on Monday, and we'll do mostly online play then. I don't know. We'll see. Okay? But the truth of the matter is, playing the game in story mode is going to allow me to learn the game, right? Versus people who already understand the game because they've played it a million hours or had it back in the day and know all the mechanics, who just constantly destroy me online before I even know how to play the game. See what I mean? So, playing the story first makes sense. Eternal Napalm did a 200-bit cheer. Thank you, Eternal Napalm. You're the top cheer of the day, so let's get you up on the leaderboard before we even begin and read what you have to say. Thank you, sir. He says, I saw a new trailer for Tales of Arise, and I've learned more about it. Okay, let's hear about this. Apparently, the male and female protagonists are from neighboring warring worlds and are supposed to hate each other, but they fall in love. So basically, it's fucking Romeo and Juliet. Or West Side Story. Okay? Also, both are cursed. The guy can feel no pain, and the girl causes anguish to anyone she touches. Sounds great. Sounds absolutely great. Well, I guess we'll find out more as the game gets closer to release. Unseen Adanon, what a name, tipped me $3, that's the top tip of the day, and says, Evening Phil, I won't be able to make Friday, but I hope it'll be a success. Have you had any considerations for keeping track of various questions you've answered over the years? Is this something that could be a focus for the future fan interaction? I'm not sure what you mean. Unlike most people out there who do content creation and or gameplay stuff in the modern era, I've been doing it for 11 years. I've been answering questions for about 9. So, you're absolutely right. Probably most questions that people could ask have already been answered. Especially with my insanely long-running show, Ask the King, which at this point now I believe has been running 8 or 9 years. Most questions have probably been answered. If you ever have a question you want answered, you can always check out a previous episode of Ask the King just by searching on YouTube. But no, I'm fairly certain there's no like ongoing database of questions that people have asked me with their answers attached to them or anything like that. And I doubt anyone will ever put enough effort into it to finally figure that out. Because honestly, that would be productive. And the people who have no lives out there focus on the negative. They focus on negative things that take a million amount of time, amount of minutes to figure out. They would never, focus on a positive thing. So no, they would never do that. They would never do the question and answer database for Dark Side Phil, but they would definitely, do everything they can to take every negative moment of a gameplay or every stupid thing I've said over the years and put that into a compilation to make me look bad. So there you go. Excuse me. All right, continuing on. Super Doll Golf, or Super Dole Golf, or Super Doll Golf, however you pronounce it, took me $1. It said if a game in 2019 charged you each time you died a quarter, meaning 25 cents, people would riot. But in the 1990s at arcade machines, this was a common practice. Why was it okay back then, but it wouldn't be greedy today? It's very simple. Back then, the technology was not possible to bring home a full-fledged gaming experience equivalent to what you could get in a video arcade at your home console. I mean, yes, home consoles have existed since as early as, I think, the late 1970s. One of them was actually available for purchase. Do things, just think about that. The Commodore 64, the Odyssey, the different versions of the Atari, and then, of course, the Nintendo, and the ColecoVision, and then we're into the Sega Master System, the Super NES, the Sega Genesis / all those. And then into the PlayStation era, the N64 era. I would say all the way until basically we got until the PlayStation 1 era. And I mean mid to late PlayStation 1. You couldn't really get an equivalent experience of what you were playing on a console at home as the same as in an arcade. So people would go to the video arcades to play the absolute cutting edge best in gaming. And then he would come home and play, all right, I'm going to play some Mario, I'm going to play an RPG that doesn't really look anything like how good it looks in an arcade, but I understand that's the trade-off that I get. At home, I don't get the same experience I get when I actually go to the arcade and plunk some quarters in the machine. In reality, there were people like me, who I was a kid growing up in the 90s, I would spend anywhere from $5 to $20 a week every time I went to the arcade to have a fun 4 or 5 hour gaming experience, whether it was for just fighting games or other games that I would play. And it was very different than when you just sat at home and played these games. I mean, for example, they ported Street Fighter 2 to the Super NES and the Sega Genesis. Those games were nowhere close to being as good or even playing the same as the versions in the arcade. I mean, they were basically really like messed up, broken versions of the games. The graphics were bad. The sound effects were nowhere near as good. Even the gameplay elements weren't so good. Okay, so in reality, back then, I want the absolute best gaming experience possible. Go to the arcade and spend some money. All right. Now, once the PS1, PS2 era, Dreamcast era hit, now you started getting home gameplay experiences that were incredibly similar, if not identical, to what you could get in the arcades. In fact, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 was the very first competitive fighting game where people actually felt the home version was the equivalent of the arcade. In reality, there were some differences in gameplay mechanics, but in general, they were incredibly close. And ever since that happened, when people could get that equivalent arcade experience on a home console, that's when the arcade started to die. And what happened was arcade said, well, what do we do that doesn't translate well to a home console? Our gambling, which essentially means our ticket games, our redemption games, games that have a randomized factor so that you think it's a game of skill, but in reality it's rigged, much like a carnival game is. That's kind of what they changed over to. And not to say that there weren't still arcade games that were kind of straight up, arcade experiences. They still were some like that, like I would say light gun shooter games, games that catered more towards sports and things like virtual bowling and stuff. Those kind of things still were very prominent. But in reality, the old school 90s experience of going to an arcade being full of actual video games, not just games of chance, and playing them at any kind of a level where you needed to keep pumping money and to continue, kind of went away. And that's what happened, you know? So here's the thing. You say, oh, in the modern era, people would never go for microtransaction after microtransaction. You're right, but back then, that's all there was. There was no, oh, I can pay $300-400 to get a home console, $60 to buy the game, and now I have it permanently. That wasn't even an option. You would do that and get an inferior version of the game that was like, damn, I feel like I wasted my money. I should have just went to the arcade today and played the real thing. You see what I mean? So that's why people put up with it back then and would never put up with it today. Technology advancement has made it possible to have equivalent, if not much better, gameplay experiences at home. So why would you even want to go to an arcade and plunk money into an arcade machine? You see what I mean? All right. Crash and Burn tipped me $1 and insulted me. Well, actually, it's not really an insult. It's basically an attempt to cause drama. And I'll read it because this person's stupid. They said, what happened to your sub count, dude? Very simple. It fluctuated like it does every month. Every month, my sub count fluctuates from as low as the high 300s all the way up to around 600 subs. It depends on many factors, including what games I'm playing, how many new how many new viewers come to the streams because of new release content, etc. And also if there's a monthly event going on. So earlier this month, we were almost at 550 subs. In fact, we exceeded 550 subs because people wanted to hit the sub goal. The sub count said, do this viewer's choice event. Now that that's over, people don't have as much incentive to sub or resub because the last couple of weeks I've been doing kind of downtime content. Now this week there'll be new release content and we'll probably get a surge of interest again. This is the nature of the beast. This is how it works on Twitch. It's how it's always worked for me. This is any different than any other time. And it's hilarious that you get these chicken little people coming in here screaming the sky is falling, when in reality that's not the case at all. But what they're trying to do is stir up drama to make people worried, when in reality there's nothing to worry about at all. So you don't have to worry about that at all. Okay? So there you go. I don't know, why you're freaking out. You shouldn't. Everything is cool. And in general, subs fluctuate from time to time, and I fully expect the subs will go up and down over time. It's fine. All right? Hodor Targ Cheered says, enable some fun extension where viewers can time out other chatters with them bits. It's called timeout with bits. No. I recommend the fart button. No. Ivan2 Win did a 100-bit cheer. He says, I tried to tip $10, but it didn't show up on screen. Is it enabled today? Tips should definitely be enabled, but number one, you didn't tip $10 because no $10 tip came through at all. I can see right now in my feed here that no $10 tip came through. So I'm not sure what happened. It seems to me like you tried to tip and it didn't clear, and that's why you didn't get your on-screen notification, and I did not receive the funds. So I'm not sure what happened, but it didn't go through, and that's why you didn't get your your on-screen thank you for it, okay? And it sucks that happened. Sorry to hear that, but you're gonna have to look at that at your own end. There's not much that I can do from my perspective, okay? Alrighty then, let's continue. Excuse me. Okay, let's see here. Egg Gangster Cheers, did you ever miss some of the people who used to be good fans but slowly became toxic and you were forced to ban them? No, why would I miss those people? Why would I miss those people? If there's people that slowly became toxic, why would I miss them? That doesn't even make any sense. I don't know. Tadpole's Playing Tennis tipped me $2. Thank you, Tadpole's Playing Tennis. I appreciate that tip. Thank you. And then someone named Hardy Buck tipped $2.27 and says, I emailed you last week but I didn't get any response in regards to being unbanned. Again, I'm the guy working from abroad for a while, and I'm back, and now I want to contribute. Well, number one, Hardy Buck, I have no idea what you're talking about because I didn't get any email from anyone saying that. I'm being honest, I didn't. Number two, I review all emails that I get for unbanning, and if you didn't get unbanned, chances are, number one, your email got caught in my spam, or number two, I reviewed it and determined that you shouldn't be unbanned. I don't know anything about this situation, so email me again at darksidephil@hotmail.com, and if I still don't get it, then maybe I'll have you try to contact somebody else, or I'll have to check my spam filter, but I have not seen anything from you, to my knowledge. Okay? And then Eternal Napalm just cheered and said, it's great you have remained positive and focused on your content despite all the hate you get. Most of your trolls aren't even good at trolling. They're just dumb. Anyway, looking forward to the upcoming streams. Hopefully the Sunken City is good. I hope so, too. Especially because the game's been delayed so much. You know what I mean? I hope that after all this wait, that the game will actually be quite good. But I guess we're going to find out next week. Right? Okay. All right, guys. Thank you very much. One final thing I would like to do before we adjourn here to actually play the game is to give a shout out to the top cheerers of the week. All right. So, thank you very much to the top cheering contributors so far this week. In 10th place this week, we've got Mr. Papavera. 9th place goes to Almighty Turban. 8th place goes to Yoshino Lover. 7th place goes to Vote Democrat. 6th place, Yeah 4335. 5th place is Vote Communist. 4th place, Light Veil. And that's actually a tie with Hidden Knife Hands. So in reality, that wasn't for 4th place. That was a tie for 3rd place between Light Veil and Hidden Knife Hands. 2nd place goes to Sambuca. And in 1st place, Nihilistic Goldfish. So thank you all for your contributions so far this week. Again, just quick reminder, as we're about to start up with Crash, the best way to contribute right now is to tip me because I need to afford all these games coming out in the next week to 2 weeks. There's a ton of them. So any contributions via tips are much appreciated because those I get right away and I can put it right towards pre-ordering all these games versus, you know, everything else is appreciated, don't get me wrong, but it's definitely going to be the tipping that's going to help me the most right now, okay? All right, and I received a $1 tip from an insulting troll, so thank you very much for the $1 tip, insulting troll. All right, let's end the pre-stream, everyone, very quickly. I'm going to head over and I'm going to use the restroom because I figure if I'm going to play a racing game, I probably don't want to have to use the restroom. So I'm going to do that very quickly and then come back and we're going to start up with Crash Team Racing. We're going to see what it's all about because I've never experienced it before. All right, guys. Thank you. Let's end the pre-stream. I'll be right back in like 2 minutes and then we begin.